Good morning, everyone, and welcome to KCBD Live, a brand new program that we're featuring right here on kcbd.com and coming to you also on Facebook. And incidentally, we'll be looking for your comments on Facebook. If you'd like to comment on someone that we're interviewing or just make a general comment about something, we'll take that into consideration. I'm Kurt Kaiser. I'll be your host for KCBD Live, and we're going to have a different guest every day to talk with them in depth. We want to find out the stories behind people. This show is entirely about people and about the stories behind the people that you don't always know. You'll see some that you know, some figures around Lubbock who are well known and personalities, and we'll learn more about them. You'll also meet some people that you don't know and hear their stories and get to know them just a little bit better. People are fascinating. That's what I love about this show. We'll be focusing on people, focusing on community, getting to know them just a little bit better. As you can see, we're here in the KCBD newsroom right now. KCBD and Fox 34 sharing this newsroom. That'll be behind us. And we'll keep you updated on news. We'll keep you updated on the weather. We'll let you know what's going on. But I'll be here every morning at this time to just visit with you and visit with a special guest. And speaking of a special guest, we have a guest all lined up for you right now, and that is Tom Walters. Tom is, well, let's see there, Tom. I've already got this mixed up a little bit, so we need to find out the right camera. Tom's on camera one, I'm on camera two, and there we go. There, magically, Tom Walters appears. Tom is the owner of Kings Highway, and that's a bus tour company.
Exactly.
Now, you've done that for a long time. How long have you been doing that, Tom?
Well, in February of 27, we'll make 30 years.
30 years.
I know I'm only 35 years old.
It's amazing. He started it very early, didn't he? Yeah, I knew you started early. Now, you didn't always drive buses. You've done some other things. In fact, people may know you by another title. Cookie Man.
That's right.
Yeah, now tell us about Cookie Man. We'll get into the buses, but Cookie Man is fascinating. You didn't bring cookies today, but that's okay.
Well, you might be surprised.
Tell me about Cookie Man.
Well, I was, at the time, I worked for Nabisco, the cookie and cracker company, and in between my first stop each day was a radio station, Z102.
Okay.
Steve Seaver was a friend of mine, and Laura Mack, who most people know as Laura Mack. The radio station was in between my first stop, so I would stop in there in the mornings and bring cookies, and they always had coffee. That was the main reason I stopped.
Sure, makes sense. You need your coffee. Yeah.
So we had coffee and cookies each morning, and I always had some kind of corny joke and made them
hard to
laugh a little.
believe.
I know, really.
Yeah.
But so it kind of got to be a habit. I would come in the mornings, bring the coffee, bring the cookies. They had the coffee, and in between their broadcast or news or weather or whatever, I always had some kind of corny joke. And I'd been doing that a while. And one morning I walked in and told him kind of a goofy joke, and Steve Seaver said, "That's horrible." And about that time, they had a little girl call in the school lunch menu that morning, and Steve he killed his mic a second and said, "Put those headphones on." So I put them on, and he said, "Tell that joke on the air." And so then he comes back live, and so the little girl gives the school lunch menu, and he said, "Hey, I have a guy here that I want him to tell you a joke." And so I did, and she giggled. She was in the second grade. She just thought that was great. And so we got a good laugh out of that. So that next morning when I was there, Steve Seaver said, "You know what? I want to come up with a character. You're going to be the Cookie Man." And so it ended up I did that regularly for about
Right.
5 years.
Oh, yeah, you were very well known as the Cookie Man.
Yeah, and
People
so
still know you as the Cookie Man. don't they?
exactly, yeah. I was in Six Flags once, and who knows how many hundred people were there.
Yeah.
And I'm walking along and shoulder to shoulder with people, and I heard somebody say, "Cookie Man." And I turn around, and these two guys are coming towards me, and they're like in their 30s. I thought, who in the world knows me as Cookie
Yeah,
Man? And
yeah.
anyway, they identified who they were. Well, when I was doing that, their mother was pushing them around in a shopping cart.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was giving them cookies then.
So it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Been a
yeah.
while. Now, what's the connection between cookies and buses? How do you go from cookies to driving a bus and taking people all over the country?
Well, at the time I worked for Nabisco, I had a
Yep.
friend that they had 3 buses, and they were always needing help. and he found out that I had my license, and so I just helped them out when they were in a pinch, and I said, you don't even have to pay me. I just enjoy doing it. And I'd done that quite a while, several years, I guess. And, and I told him one day, I said, I really enjoy doing this. One of these days when I retire, I think that's what I want to do. So fast forward 8 or 9 years later is when I got a notice from our company that they were doing a corporate downsizing.
Oh, wow.
And which is a nice way for them to fire you so they don't have to pay
you're
retirement.
gone. Yeah.
And I'd been with them 19 years and 3 months.
Oh,
So I was 9 months away from my 20 years. And I was devastated. I just thought my world was falling apart.
Sure.
So the very next morning, this guy that had these buses called me after I'd been really praying a lot, wondering what in the world am I going to do? And God, I need a little help here. And so the next morning, this friend of mine called and said, hey, we just had a meeting yesterday. That was the day I was praying. And said, we decided to sell one of our buses. And I don't know how you do that working for this company. And I said, well, as a matter of fact. So I told him about it. And that was the beginning of Kings Highway.
yeah. So that was, as you said, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, full disclosure right here, and that is that I have been on a trip with Tom. In fact, I've been on 2 trips with Tom, along with my dad. We went on
Bob.
a canyon glaciers tour, then went to Omaha, Nebraska.
Pacific
and-
Coast.
Pacific Coast,
Yep.
that's right. And that was a great trip. I mean, that's where I learned about Kings Highway. And Tom, I've told this story a lot. I've told people that my first trip, I took 3 or 4 books because I figured we're driving on a bus. It's going to be boring. We don't have a lot
I know where
to
this is
do.
going.
Yes, and I'll just cut to the chase. I didn't crack one book, and that's because of this man. Tom Walters tells all kinds of stories and keeps us entertained. And not only you're not talking the entire time, you're talking with other passengers. And
Sure.
you really get to know other people, and that's what it's about, Tom. It's about people, isn't it?
People, that is right.
Yeah, yeah.
And you said earlier, people are fascinating.
Yeah, they really are, and you know that for a fact. Now, let's get into some of the nuts and bolts of it. I said around the country, you go around this country, you go around other countries. You've been into Canada, went into Mexico. at one time.
Mexico, yeah.
Yeah.
Used to go to Mexico quite often.
Yeah, and you've taken tours. You have tours. You also had a charter part of the business, which isn't as prevalent now,
Right,
right?
yes.
Yeah. But the tours, let's get into those. So you take how many tours a year?
Well, currently we do about 8 tours a year, but we're going to increase that.
Okay.
Since we're not as involved in the charters now. So we're already looking in 2027, and one of our first tours is going to be in February.
Yeah.
But we're going to increase the number of tours. And we're also looking at a new generation of travelers. Oddly enough, the ones that traveled with me when I first started, now their daughters are traveling with me.
Really? Wow. Well, and it's an older demographic because there's not many people. Your tours are longer, a couple of weeks. Some are short, some are day trips.
Right.
But some of the longer trips, people can't take off 2 weeks at a time.
Exactly,
So your
yeah.
demographic generally tends older.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Where our typical age is, of course, anybody can go.
Sure.
It's just the ones that are retired or have the time off and
Yeah.
and the money. But typically 60, 70, and 80s. And then we have the rare occasion like your father, Bob, who was at 97 his first
Yeah.
time, and I think 98 his second time. And so that's pretty much the general age group.
I mentioned Omaha, Nebraska, but there's a lot of other places more exciting than Omaha. I mean, Omaha was fun, Tom,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying we have other places. So I said canyons and glaciers. That one started here in Lubbock, of course, went through Colorado, into Utah, up to with Glacier National Park.
Yes. Yep.
And then back through Utah. And there's a number of parks in Utah. In fact,
Oh, yeah.
Utah is a fascinating state, and I didn't know it
For
before.
sure, yeah. You could spend a lot of time just in Utah. In
Absolutely.
fact, in all my travels, I've learned there are a lot of things in every state you could spend more time in.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And then after Utah, we went into Arizona, went to the Grand Canyon, and one of my favorite parts, we came back through Winslow, Arizona.
Yeah.
and I won't sing the song, but
I think you should.
well, I thought about it, but
Maybe
I-
one phrase.
Yeah, yeah. Well, as we go into Winslow, you put the song over the intercom.
Standing on the corner.
Yeah, standing on the corner in Winslow, Arizona. So if you haven't heard that song, you've heard that.
Oh
heard
yeah,
that
they
song.
they had to hear.
Everybody has.
If you're breathing.
The only one that hadn't was my dad.
Oh.
And so I had to stand on a corner with Dad, and I'm like, okay, Dad, let's look cool. We're taking a picture. So we crossed our arms. He had no idea what Winslow, Arizona was all about. But everybody else does.
But he does now.
He does now.
Yeah.
He does now. That's exactly right. But let's talk about the other places you've gone. A lot of them.
Well, I mean, really, we still have some tours left this year. In September, we're doing what we call a short trip. It's 5 days. We're going to do Santa Fe and Taos and do some. One of the things we're going to do is a sunset train ride. And there's just a lot of things over the years that I've learned about each city, and we're going to bring those to life. And since this is the 250th anniversary of America, we're going to Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, and
Wow.
Boston in October, which is our fall foliage.
Yeah.
And then, of course, every year in November, we go to Branson.
Right.
We love Branson. They really honor our veterans.
Yeah, you go to Branson, a couple of days to get there or one day?
Yeah, we go to spend the night in Tulsa and
Okay.
then head on into Branson.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now that's all shows once you get to Branson. You stay in one location and go to shows.
One of the hardest things we do is we get up in the morning and eat a buffet breakfast, and then we go to a show, and then we eat lunch, and then we go to a show, and then we eat dinner, and then we go to another show, and then we go to the hotel, and they have cobbler and ice cream for
Oh my
us.
gosh. So if you want to lose weight, don't go on the Branson
Yeah.
tour. That's not a good idea.
I think I ought to really just weigh the bus before we go.
I think so. So Branson's another good place. You've gone into Alaska. You've gone into Canada.
Yes, I've been in 11 provinces,
you
in
go.
territories in Canada.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm leaving tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Where you
leaving
headed?
tomorrow. Alaska.
Oh, you're going to Alaska tomorrow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. We've done that trip 5 times, always bust from here. And as I said, we have a different generation, doesn't want to be gone as long as we have been. So they are flying to Calgary, Alberta.
Okay.
I'm going to meet them in the morning, and they're going to load the bus with their luggage.
Yeah.
And then when they get on the plane on the 9th, they don't have any luggage to check in.
Wow.
So I'm going to drive the bus to Calgary, pick them up at the airport. They step on the bus, and we start our tour.
I didn't know about that. That sounds like
Yeah.
fun. So that's Alaska beginning tomorrow. How long's that trip?
Well, I leave August the 6th. I won't be
Okay.
back home till September the 6th, but it's
Wow.
because of ferries and so on that I
Sure,
have to take.
sure.
But the group is coming out on the 9th, and they'll return on the 27th.
And believe me, Tom will take that bus anywhere. Places you wouldn't think you'd have a bus, right?
I wish you could be with me on this trip.
Yeah.
There's a place in Alaska. I was going over a bridge and looked down and saw a dry riverbed. I drove the bus down on those rocks in the dry riverbed, and our people were excited. They got out and looked for gold dust.
Well, we'll talk more about some of the places that Tom has taken that bus, and it's fascinating what he does with that bus. He's amazing. We'll be back in just a moment. You're watching KCBD Live, and I'm your host, Kurt Kaiser, back with Tom Walters from Kings Highway in just a moment.